However, these weren't definitely your typical telemarketing jobs because the workers weren't actually getting paid anything. Michelle served as the executive director of the organization called Kingdom of God Global Church, formerly known as Joshua Media Ministry International. Michelle, from her gigantic mansion in Tampa, helped David control every aspect of the operation. What began as a small ministry eventually expanded into this multi-state operation with locations in Florida, Texas, and Missouri. By the time federal agents shut it all down, they were operating 9 separate call centers across 4 different states. And David's organization essentially ran these call centers where they would make cold calls to people across the country, asking for donations for the church. And these workers would tell potential donors that their money would be used for charitable purposes, such as providing water wells for impoverished communities overseas or supporting victims of human trafficking or slavery. And judging from that house that we saw earlier, I don't think too much of that money went to that. However, these weren't definitely your typical telemarketing jobs because the workers weren't actually getting paid anything. According to the federal indictment, David convinced people to come work for him full-time as unpaid volunteers. He would then tell them that anyone who defied his orders and commands were defying God and would suffer in hell. Workers were also required to cut off contact with any family or friends who questioned the church's righteousness, and David would demand that any full-time staff give up outside employment entirely and dedicate their lives fully to the ministry. And allegedly, the organization also had a twisted system where they forced workers to apply for government assistance like EBT cards and food stamps by claiming they were homeless. And the workers had to turn over these benefits to the church staff to buy food for the organization. And I guess lie that he was raising money to end slavery as he was
God, I love religion.
having slaves fund the thing.